as extreme as that may sound, historically, go look at maps. When was there a thing called Ukraine that was not part of, Russian Empire or Poland, Lithuanian Commonwealth? There never was. The Ukrainians were a rural peasant class of first the Poles and then the Russians. They were not an urbanized people. They were only 17% literate in 1919. And every time they've had their own state, it's basically become a genocide factory. So get rid of them. Countries have no right to exist whatsoever. They come into existence because it's a problem for everybody else that they don't exist, and they go out of existence because it's a problem for everybody around them that they do. You can even make that same argument for Poland too, that it's a historically, unbordered and aggressive country. And Europe has been more peaceful when Poland and Ukraine have been off the map than when they're on it. So there is such a thing as making your neighbors so sick of you that they carve you up and remove you. And that doesn't mean people get genocided. Populations have rights, and they had rights in all these old empires. But it does mean that not everybody is suited to run a nation state. The Kurds don't have a nation state, and they're arguably much more deserving of it than the West Ukrainians are. I can name you 50 ethnicities that don't have a state, and I can name you some that had a state and lost a state because they broke treaties and told lies to everybody around them. So the Confederates in the United States had a state for 4 years, and then they lost it in the Civil War. And they haven't had their own state since, even though many people would like it back. There's no unconditional right to sovereignty. And it's just, to me, foolish to talk. I'm with John Mearsheimer on this. You don't talk about states having rights. They don't.
I would like to actually ask.
Territorial integrity is always like prioritized.
Yeah. Well, territorial integrity has to be. It's a nice byword, but it's conditional. Since World War II, it's been very clear that your territorial integrity is absolutely conditional on your adherence to the United Nations Charter of Human Rights. Nazi Germany was broken up into about 6 pieces. Some of it, Alsace-Lorraine went back to France, and Sudetenland went back to Czechoslovakia, and Silesia went to Poland, and it got broken up into 2 parts itself, and Austria came back onto the map as a separate country. So that's 6 parts. We busted up Germany as it existed in the 1930s for this very reason, for an intolerant behavior towards its ethnic minorities. And it was cracked up. There was still a thing called Germany. I'm not ruling out there could be a thing called Ukraine, but it's probably a province of Russia, if you know what I mean.